Hello and welcome to It's Tomorrow News. Heavy rains deluged Australia's east coast on Wednesday, submerging entire towns while thousands of the people fled their homes for the second time within the weeks after fast-moving floodwaters burst riverbanks and broke over the levees. Several towns in the northern New South Wales, already reeling after record floods over the month ago, were pounded by an intense low-pressure system overnight. Some regions took months' rainfall in under 6 hours, officials said. Unfortunately, overnight worst fears have been realized with a significant heavy rainfall across already saturated landscapes. The main street in the Byron Bay, a popular tourist destination about 750 kilometers north of Sydney, was inundated with the several shops underwater, television footage showed. One family was seen wading through the knee-deep water, one woman with a child on the hip and other members carrying suitcases filled with the belongings. A total of 14 evacuation orders and 8 warnings are in place along the north New South Wales coast, stretching across the distance of around 500 kilometers. The entire coast of Australia's most populous state was told to brace for heavy waves and powerful winds on Thursday as a low-pressure system that left entire towns flooded moved offshore. The change brought reprieve from the large swaths of the northern New South Wales, flooded this week for the second time in the month, but it spreads the risk across some 2,000 kilometers of the coastline, including country's biggest city, Sydney. There were still 20 evacuation orders affecting some 30,000 people, but the deluge had erased, Bureau of Meteorology senior forecasters said. The Wilsons River, which runs through the regional centre Lismore, among the worst affected by the flooding, had peaked at 11.4 meters lower than the 12 meters that authorities had feared. The main concern will be abnormally high tides and also coastal erosion and also inundation of low-lying areas, particularly for the properties right on the beach. 2 years since the worst bushfires in a generation, Australia's densely populated east coast has been grappling with the record floods as a protracted La Nina weather pattern brings abnormally high rainfall and wind, causing rivers to overflow and leaving thousands of the homes inhabitable. So far, 2 people have been confirmed as having died in the current weather pattern, while the police says they are searching for the third person, a woman believed to be missing in floodwaters at Lismore. The Weather Bureau forecast bands a very localized heavier rainfall to drop within the few hours of the Wednesday, potentially leading to life-threatening flash floods with up to 20 millimeters predicted to pummel many regions. Australia's east coast summer has been dominated by the La Nina climate pattern, typically associated with a greater rainfall for the second straight year, with the rivers already at the capacity after torrential rains. The Weather Bureau had forecasted bands of the very localized heavier rainfall to drop within few hours, potentially leading to life-threatening flash floods with up to 200 millimeters predicted to pummel many regions. Australia's east coast summer has been dominated by the La Nina climate pattern, typically associated with the greater rainfall for the second straight year, with rivers already at capacity after torrential rains. Sydney has already recorded 537 millimeters in March, which is the wettest March on record. That's all for now. For more news updates, stay tuned with us. It's Tomorrow News. For more global weather updates like this, subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon for regular updates.